What is up, guys? It is Baibu here, and welcome back to Tilt Your Chair Back. This is episode 3, and we're going to be talking about loss, more specifically loss of life, like a family member, loved one, friend, and so on. Before we get into the actual topic of the day, I would just like to say right now that I'm going to leave some links in the description for donations. One to the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, as you will find out later in this video, and one for Memorial Scholarship. I know I only have 50 subscribers, but if there was ever to be a video to blow up and it's this one, I already stated in plenty of episodes that this will all be donated to a good cause that is related to mental health of some sort, and the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention is the #1 for that, in my opinion. And for the Memorial Scholarship, you will understand why once we get into the video. Just to give you guys a brief overview of what's going to go on today, I'm going to give you guys the stories of the 3 people that you saw at the beginning of this video, and I'm going to talk to you guys of how I've been able to get over the feelings of loss. Not necessarily get over, because there's really no getting over it. More so just how I've handled it, how I can help you guys handle it if I can, or just other ways to help you in a time of crisis in general, shall I say. I'd just like to apologize to anybody that expects more of an upbeat tone. It's going to be pretty hard for me to do all this in an upbeat tone. So if this isn't really your style, I don't blame you. But if you just need to be able to hear somebody talk about some problems that helps you, then you've come to the right place. Let's just get right into it. I met Abby in July of 2023. I was working at a lake, and she came there with some friends, and we got along really well and connected. We would talk probably every day, and we would hang out occasionally. I went to a different school than she did in college, not in high school, don't worry. We were kind of like on that verge of being boyfriend, girlfriend, kind of not. It was a confusing situation with us being about an hour apart from each other. But being the boy I am, I did love the girl. I did love her dearly. And I didn't really know how to explore those feelings, because at the time I was still kind of getting over another relationship, which is a topic for a whole other video. But we liked each other a lot, from what I could tell. We were just both in that scenario where you don't know if you want to commit yourself to something. On October 29th of 2023, her and I were supposed to go to a pumpkin patch for like one of our real dates. We'd only been on a couple of them prior to that, and she canceled on me really unexpectedly. I didn't really know how to take it, and I tried to have a conversation with her, and she was really distant. So I asked if she just needed a little break, and she said yes. She said she just needed to, find herself, and I was like, okay, I understand that. I understand that perfectly fine. Mind you, the girl that I was falling in love with was the most vibrant person I've ever met in my life. She always had a smile on her, always cracking jokes, always like doing that thing where you just make fun of people, like that you like being around, like always calling me a dumbass or something like that. I was always positive whenever I was around her, as she was a very positive light. On November 15th of 2023, Abby was gone. I found out over a Snapchat story saying rest in peace to Abby. I just thought maybe she just had a really hard night on the town, just like overdid it a little bit and was just bedridden. And so I frantically texted her. Jokingly at first, I just said, "Yo, are you okay? Did you have a rough night?" She didn't respond. She didn't respond for a couple hours. And I went on my Safari on my iPhone, and I just typed in her name, and there was an obituary. At the time, I was home from college. I was actually hoping to see her around that time, but she just wasn't up to it, and I believe that's because she was planning on taking her own life. Suicide is just one of those things where you don't really understand why it happened, or when, how, any of that. You just can't really comprehend it when it happens, especially knowing somebody like Abby, who was such a bright light to a lot of people, not just me. To hear that news, it's really shocking to a lot of people. It's really hard to comprehend. Something you should never do is what I did, which was I left my home. I decided to go back to my college. I immediately just threw all my stuff in a bag, jumped in my car, and I drove back home to my college, and I just cried the whole way there, which never do that. For one, it's extremely dangerous to cry and drive. You can blur yourself, you can blur your vision, you can make bad decisions. And for another thing, your biggest support system, if you do not have a family to go to talk to, God bless you, I'm sorry. There are people here that will listen to you though, and I'm one of those people. I love you. Just do not leave the main support system the second you find out something like this happened. Her memorial was going to be in Wisconsin, where she was from, so I couldn't attend. And not having that sort of closure really put a dampening, on my life at that time. What it put me through was lack of eating. I just stopped eating. It was around Thanksgiving, which is a time that you eat, and I just couldn't bring myself to eat a lot of food at the time. I was quiet. Even my little brother, who's my best friend, I couldn't talk to him. He was one of the first people to actually text me about it. When I made the post, I made a Facebook post just remembering her, and he texted me immediately saying he was sorry. It's almost like I just became a different person after that day. I took everything really slow in my life at that point. Class, I didn't go to class for a week. Even after Thanksgiving, I didn't go to class. I felt as though I died. That was the first time I'd really experienced loss at that sort of level. There were people my age that have passed away, and I was sad for. I had lost my grandpa, who was my best friend. That still hurts to this day. God bless you, Papa Steve. But something like that, it was the first time I ever had to deal with that. And I was so lost in my life, not being able to talk, not being able to eat. I felt like I couldn't go to anybody because I just who has dealt with this? The reality is a lot of people have dealt with it. There's so many people that have dealt with it, so never feel as though you're alone in that situation. After Thanksgiving break and not going to class for a week, I dedicated myself to my sport at the time, which was track and field, and I refused to let it bother me in the weight room. I used it as fuel. That sort of sadness made me angry at the world, angry at God, and it made me a non-believer for a good while. And we will get more into that as we go towards the next person that I would like to talk about. But continue on, or really to finish up with Abby here. I'm still not over it. I think about her every day. And not as I loved her, that she should have been my girlfriend, I should have been married to her at this point. No, not like that. Whenever something like this happens, if it was just a friend, you don't even think about that. You always think about the ways you could have done better while they were around, if that makes sense. I should have bought her that beer at the bar, that kind of thing. You just feel as though you left out a big part of it, and you just feel as though you had so much to give, and now all that stuff that you had to give is just dead weight. And it's not dead weight. You understand me? It's not dead weight. God put a lot of love in every single one of us, and he wants us to use it and to pursue him in any sort of possible way together. I found myself really just talking to her. I'd text her, and seeing the delivered sign made it so much worse, to the point where I just started talking to her out loud. I would go out to our track at 1 in the morning because I couldn't sleep, and I would just try to have a conversation with her. And those little conversations actually really helped. It let me get out some emotion that I wasn't able to get out to other people. Just trying to figure out how she was doing. If there was a lot of Zach Bryan and fishing up there. And I think the biggest takeaway that I can give people for dealing with the loss of suicide is just remember the beauty of the person that was there before you. Just remember the absolute light that that person shed upon you for you to feel this sort of sadness. I love you, Abby. I miss you. And I hope you're doing good up there. We're going to move on to one of my best friends now. Here's the reason you are inappropriately seeing Call of Duty Zombies playing in the background. I know a lot of people were confused if they were watching this and they're like, why is this dumb motherfucker playing Call of Duty Zombies in the background while he's talking about his dead loved ones? And this is the man, the myth, the legend, the reason why that Zombies is playing in the background. I moved to my hometown whenever I was about 5 years old. I was going into kindergarten, so I was a little nervous, you know. I mean, I just spent pre-K in a town that was way, way bigger, and so I didn't really know how to interact with people. I walked into the classroom, and my teacher had me sit in this assigned seat, and that assigned seat was next to Hayden Lentz. Right off the bat, me and him were inseparable at the time. I mean, obviously growing up, we all do our own different things, and like we split up a little bit, but at the time when we were young, we were doing everything together. We signed up for youth sports at the same time. He was on my youth baseball team. It was coached by his father, and we were always going back to his house after games, getting in the pool, getting ice cream. We were always doing that sort of thing together. Not just me and him, but just a whole entire little group of ours. And there's always this talk about like a group leader, like the friend group leader, and we really didn't have one. I mean, we had guys, like if we go and did a certain thing, that they would usually be the leader for that thing. Like I would usually be the fishing leader or something like that. But the glue of that group was Hayden. If you ask anybody from that group who was always around, who was always there for you, who was always doing what with everybody, it was Hayden. And in 2018, he lost his sister. I basically lost a sister that day, even though I couldn't really process it. I was still young and interpreting death in that manner. But I was there for him, and as a group, I feel as though we all got extremely close that summer after she passed away. We basically just did the same thing all throughout junior high and into high school. But come COVID, we didn't really split apart closeness-wise. Like I still would recognize him as my best friend, if not one of my best friends. But we just had different goals at that point because we were growing up, and I was more focused in school and trying to go to the next level for the sport that I loved. And so I kind of just didn't really hang out with anybody. I stopped going and hanging out with the guys at people's houses. I never went to a party in high school. I never did any of that sort of thing. So like, I was pretty out of the ring, if that makes sense. Like I didn't really, get into it with anybody. If it wasn't for me doing that, I wouldn't be where I am today, which I thank God for, but I also curse myself for allowing me to be selfish in that manner. I didn't cut everybody off, but I just stayed in my lane and focused on myself and bettering myself, and that made me grow a little bit more distant to everybody in my graduating class in general. And most of all, I didn't really hang out with Hayden and my original friend group. The type of hanging out I would do would be on my computer on Discord with Gibby and Maddox, actually, so shout out to them for being there and helping me through this, and I'm helping them through this as well. So come to college, my freshman and sophomore year of college, whenever I went home, I just stayed with my family. I didn't go out. I didn't do any of that stuff. I was by the book to the T, trying to be a Division I athlete, And my junior year, where I met Abby, like I said, God rest her, I was going out and I was enjoying myself. I had just gotten out of a relationship, and I was taking it pretty hard. So I was just doing what I wanted to do, and that led me to going out more and drinking with my hometown friends that I missed a lot of time with. I spent my entire 21st birthday with Gibby, Money Mad Dog, and Hayden. And though I can't really remember the details for possible obvious reasons that I will not go into in case somebody that could hire me is listening to this, I did wake up in my own bed. We're all right, we're all right. But if it wasn't for Hayden that night, I probably wouldn't have been in a safe place. He made sure that I got to his house where he knew I would be safe, and it's hard to say that was the last time I saw him. Would see him going out after that, but only from a distance, really. He had a big friend group that he was hanging out with because he used to work at the establishment that we would always go to, so he would hang out with them. So I never really got to talk to him. So my 21st birthday was the last time I got to hang out with him, and it's my biggest regret that I wasn't sober enough to really be grateful for the time that I had there. On December 9th of 2023, I was on my way back from a track meet. I had just gotten home at about 11 o'clock is when Hayden passed away. He was involved in a drunk driving accident. He was not drunk, he was sober. The individual who was driving the vehicle that he was in was under the influence, and they struck a truck head-on, going 90 miles an hour on a back road. Luckily, he was killed instantly. There was no pain for a man that didn't deserve that. There was no pain. And at about 5 a.m., I kept my phone under my pillow because that's how I would wake up to my alarms, because it was right in my ear. All I could feel were vibrations from my phone. I thought I was dreaming them up, but there was one that really stuck out to me. It was a phone call from a part of that friend group, Trent, another one of my best friends. I saw a missed call from him. I saw several missed calls from him. I was like, what? Why is Trent calling me? I was like, is my dad dead? Did my mom, did my dad, did they do something bad? I pick up the phone. I call him back, and he just says, where are you? We need to talk really quick. There was an accident, and Hayden's gone. I was silent. I said, what? That doesn't, Hayden? Hayden Lentz? The guy that I grew up with? Hayden. He said, yeah, he was in an accident, and he's gone. I couldn't really talk, so I said, okay, you guys doing okay? I asked them if they were okay. They're like, yeah, we're all right. We're figuring it out. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna call my mom. Called my mom. She couldn't pick up the phone. She was asleep. And I called my dad, who was heading into work. And I couldn't even get a word out. I just kept mumbling and crying, and he just said, calm down, what's wrong? I said, Hayden died. He's gone. He said, what? I said, Hayden got into an accident, and he's gone. He just let out a sigh, told me he loved me, and that it's gonna be okay, and he told me to get some sleep. So I hung up the phone and I went to bed. When I woke up, I only got about 2 hours. My mind was boggling. I only got about 2 hours. Woke up and I called my mom. She had no idea, and she immediately broke down, and it was not a good time. There's more details to this which are related to Jana, which I will go into, but to talk to you guys about how I've been dealing with Hayden's loss. I completely dedicated my life at that point to do everything in his honor. The day that it happened, I grabbed my track spikes and I wrote his name on it. I wrote our hometown's logo on it. I dedicated every single move that I did from that point on to Hayden. And to be honest with you guys, if anybody's made it this far, there's really no getting over these sorts of things. When somebody's made this big of an impact on your life to where you see somebody as a sibling that you never had. I do have a little sibling, but I've just never had a sibling that's my age. Okay, come on, I love my little brother. When they've had this impact on you, there's really no getting over it. It's like a piece of you's gone. And with Hayden, it's really hard to comprehend that he's not here anymore. Sometimes God blesses me with allowing me to see him in my dreams, and all I can do is cry and hug him every time I see him, because that's how my heart reacts now to seeing him. That the second I see him in my dreams, it's just a breakdown, because I'm like, oh, I get to see my best friend again. So what you guys need to do to get through something like that is to just find the closure. Just try to get that comprehension down. You need to be able to comprehend that this person is no longer in your life. I know that is a really brutal way of putting that, but it's fact. You have to come to terms with what's happened, and you need to be able to focus on, like I said with Abby, you need to be able to focus on the light that person put in your life. This is the point where I didn't know what to do, and I just kept doing things for him, just using it as fuel for my life. But I was just so empty, and I was sitting in a hotel room in Louisville the day before a track meet, and I was thinking of Hayden, and I was like, man, what can I do to help myself? What can I do to help others? Just be able to get my mind off of it. And just a random thought came into my mind. It said, pick up the hotel Bible and read it. From that point forward, I was convinced that God had given me a sign to find myself in him. And that same day, I signed up to go to a Bible study camp that was a weekend adventure. It was a really good time. And how I got over Hayden for those months was I found God. I was saved. And if it wasn't for Hayden passing away, I wouldn't have won the event that I do high jump. I wouldn't have won my conference meet if it wasn't for him. He made me fly that day. God made me fly that day. God allowed Hayden to come down and pick me up. And Hayden came down and he picked me up. Since Jana is the mother of Hayden, I'm going to wrap it up with Hayden by saying, if it wasn't for these people that are in your life, you wouldn't be where you are today. So come to terms with what's happened to them, find the closure that you need, and thank God that thank God that he put you in a position to where you got to know these people, if that makes sense. And now we're going to talk about Jana. Jana was the mother of Hayden. I knew her for as long as I knew Hayden. She was basically a second mother to me, if not just like an aunt, And for a lot of the people that were affected by Jana's loss, which are the friends of Hayden, they could say the same exact thing. Jana was a selfless person that loved everybody and wanted everybody to be happy whenever they were around her. The stories of her and Hayden really align with themselves, so there's not a lot of story to tell with that. But just a really funny one to lighten up the mood was when bottle flipping was a thing. Hayden and I flipped this fucking bottle in their piano room for literally 2 hours. And Jana was a work-at-home mom. She did insurance, I believe, on the computer. Like, she was one of those people you call. And we were flipping this fucking bottle for like 2 hours. And all of a sudden, you just hear boom, 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 boom. Shut the fuck up with that fucking bottle. It felt like my mom had just come in there and threatened to whoop my ass. So it's funny. One of the fondest memories that I remember is her intimidating me like my own mother. But obviously, I'm just trying to give a funny memory of her. There's a lot of memories that I have with Jana and Hayden alike, but I just wanted to bring a little bit more of a more positive tone before I nailed the hammer down of how she passed away. When Hayden passed away, his family started a fundraiser, scholarship, charity type thing in his honor, the Hayden Lentz Memorial Scholarship. which, God bless, my brother was lucky enough to receive, which is just really a sign from God that Hayden was looking out for us. But anyways, they started the scholarship when Hayden passed away. And about a year later, just less, on September 14th, we had a huge fundraiser for the event at a local bar slash it was on the lake, so there was a lot of activities to do. There was a stage, there was live music. It was awesome. It was a great time. There's bags tournament. There's beer. There's cigarettes. There's everything you could ever want. They raised a lot of money for Hayden's scholarship that night. A lot of money. There's a lot of drinking going on. There's a lot of confusion going on. There's just a bunch going on. And it was also the day before my birthday. So at about, I'd say 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. I'd say about 9-ish. My friends and I left the fundraiser to go to the club and celebrate my birthday, which is going to be striking at midnight. We got to the club at about 11-ish. And we had to go do our thing, get ready, do all that. We had to go get ready. We got to the club at about 11, and the clock struck midnight. Happy birthday! It's my birthday. We're having a great time. About 10 minutes after the celebration of that, just getting happy birthdays and stuff like that, we just hear people whispering. It was Hayden's mom died. It was some really egregious stuff that should never be said out loud. And I felt Gibby grab me by my shoulder really hard while I was talking to somebody, and he just yanked me. And I was like, man, what is going on here? I don't understand what's going on. He's like, you'll understand. We get out of the dance floor, and we're just talking, just him and I and Money Mad Dog. And somebody comes over and just says, Hayden's mom died. And we told her to shut the fuck up because it was a really negative thing to say. And I can't remember who said that, but I'm sorry. We acted out because we thought it was just a really sick joke. There was no ill intentions with that. So apologies if you're ever going to listen to this. But when we heard this, we were shocked. And then one of Jana's best friend's daughters came up to us bawling her eyes out. And we knew that she was gone. The next morning, we got confirmation. Jana was, I'll just set the stage. There was a party bus that took people to the fundraiser. They got it for the fundraiser. It was really good. God bless it for happening. And it pulled back up to make sure everybody got home safely. And Jana was leading the people who were getting on to go home. She was leading them to the bus, which was parked across the street from the fundraiser. She was leading people to the bus when a vehicle came and struck her. The paramedic said that she passed away instantly. The sort of same news outlet that happened when Hayden passed away with me calling my parents is exactly what went down. And to avoid just how grim of a subject that was, I'm just not going to really talk about how the aftermath was. But it was not good. Every day I think about Hayden's father, who's had to deal with his daughter, his son, and his wife leaving him at such young ages, that I just want to stay away from that to wrap this up. All three of these people were very important to me, and they've all been gone within a year of my life. It's been a really hard year of my life, but I'm still here, and I feel as though what I've done to help myself can help you guys. So here's how I did it. First and foremost, I mourned. People were like, there's no time to mourn. I ain't got time to cry. Crying's for pussies. Don't listen to that stupid fucking shit, okay? Never listen to that stupid shit in your life. There is always time to sit back, think about the good times with these people, and cry for them. I know Hayden would not have wanted me to cry whenever he passed away. Abby, Jana, all of them, they probably would never want to see me cry. But they deserve to know the love that we had for them, and we wouldn't be able to share with them anymore. So mourn. Mourn every day. Seriously. People are going to say, oh, that's pretty negative. You don't want to be down all day. The beauty part is mourning, it doesn't have to be. Oh, Jesus, excuse me. Sorry, I've been drinking a lot of water. Mourning doesn't have to be sad. Mourning can be a rejoicing in this life that you got to live with these people. This earth has been here for billions of years, and you got to live in the same time as your loved ones. Seriously, you're a lucky person. Mourn these people, mourn what you had with them, and be thankful for what you had with them. Would be the first thing that I'd have to say. Secondly, what I did was I dedicate everything to them. Like I said with the last episode of Tilt Your Chair Back, every penny that I could ever make from Tilt Your Chair Back will go to a good scholarship fundraiser memorial in their honor. That's why the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention and Hayden's Memorial Scholarship will be a part of this, and as well as like my achievements. If it wasn't for these people, I wouldn't be where I am today. So I have not only God to thank, but I have these people to thank for putting me in the positions that I'm in. Third, which I already kind of touched about, is just letting your emotions out and thinking about them as often as you can. Secondly, start appreciating. Secondly, brother, we're at the third or fourth point here. Sorry, I've been talking for a while. Fourth, be more grateful in life. Stop being unappreciative for the things that you have. Taking things for granted at all times. Like I sit here, I get home with practice, and I just lay in my bed and waste my life away. Like, I have the opportunity to go hang out with people, and I don't take it because I'm like, oh, let me get my rest. Which rest is important if you watch the episode of Burnout, but you're wasting opportunities at times to be with the ones you love. And as I know very well, and as a lot of people probably know very well, not time is not guaranteed with these people. Anybody. You never know when something could happen, like with these three people happened. So just be more grateful in life. The fifth thing I have for you guys, which isn't for everybody, so I'm not going to sit here and force you to do it. I know how some people are with that. And the final point that I'd have is to seek Christ. I cannot tell you how much better my life has gotten since I've accepted God into my life. I don't pray as often as I should, but remaining to the values of God, reading the Bible, and just trying to live by the Bible has made my life just exponentially better. And it's helped me a lot. It's not going to be for you, and I'm sorry if it's not for you. Otherwise, I would say just finding things that you can do that remind you of them, or ways that you can get your mind off of them. Those are the two, like, they counteract each other, but they don't at the same time. It's really hard, but you will understand once you do that. And what I'm going to do to help others is, for one, in Abby's case, I'm going to be vigilant and open with other people. Like, if I see somebody obviously struggling in life, I'm going to go up and talk to them. If they don't want to talk, it's okay. I'm going to let them know that I'm there for them. I'm going to let them know that I love them, and I would never want to see them go. Like I said, to help myself, how I'm going to also help others is be more grateful for those people. Let them know that I'm grateful that they're here. Let them know that I'm grateful that they're working so hard in life, that I'm proud of them, that I love them, and so on. YouTube is really not going to like this video being 30 minutes, but I just felt as though a big topic like this deserved, it just deserved to have this amount of time. It deserves more than that. I wish I had the capabilities to have a huge podcast and talk about this, because I would talk about this for hours. It's been a long time since I've openly talked about Hayden, Abby, and I've been kind of still in shock because this just happened. I haven't really talked about Jana except with my mom, because I was her best friend. So it feels really good to be able to talk about this, and I'm sorry if people felt just really shitty watching this, because it's been such a really grim topic, but what are you gonna do? You came here for Tilt Your Chair Back, here to fucking get what you get, buddy. Okay. But I think this is gonna do it for me. Tell people you love them. Drink water. Be grateful in life. Keep moving forward. I'm proud of you. I love you. yeah, it's going to do it for me. I'll see you guys.
That's why I'm easy. I'm easy like Sunday morning. Oh, oh, oh. That's why I'm easy. Oh, oh. I'm easy like Sunday morning.